Okay, this is a quick video on how we set price targets for stocks that are breaking out of ascending triangles, and but also maybe stocks that are trading to new highs and such. Now we can see that on the CVM it did have a big pop back in end of January from $14 to $40, huge move. And then came off and then drifted off down to 15. Here's your capitulation down here to 1385. But it did get into this, downtrending channel, and it did break through resistance here, popped. And today we have a big follow through on it. And we traded this quite successfully. And I had, just before it popped, I said, watch out, the stock looked like it's ready to go. And, over this 25, look for, to trade to 26, 27. So how do you pick those numbers? So there's a lot of ways to look at it. First of all, you would look and see where is the natural resistance for this thing from previous times. Here, which was the breakout at 25. Here you've got resistance at 28. So those would be the first places I look. Whenever you're studying a chart, the first thing you do is you look left to see where it's been. Then you look straight ahead and see what it's doing. Then you look right to see where it can go. So in this case, you would look at, 28 being a target for this thing. But you also have to think about, okay, well, what's reasonable? Sometimes stocks aren't reasonable and they just continue to go. But, we want to take profits along the way. What's reasonable? So here's the pop out. The first areas I'd look for would be, round whole numbers. 26, 27, 28, 29. Those would all be, I'd be scaling out at all those levels, just under them. If you watch me trade, I trade, at a nickel under them. If it breaks out at 25, I'd sell it at 25.95 or, 25, 26.45, 27, 26.95. I did get some off at that level. So I'm looking first for, where has it been in the past, which is this 28, 27, it did trade to 28, 27.86, so not quite 28. But that was from before, that was the target. But when it breaks out of this, where am I looking? So I'd look every dollar, 25, 26, 27. That would be the indicators. The other thing you could look for is from here, 21 to 25 is a $4 move. Where is it going to move when it breaks out? Really, this is your pullback here around 23. So if I'd add $4 to that, so 27. That would be my other target up here, 27. And so those all coincide for targets. But I think the key for setting the targets is just, what's reasonable? How much profit do you want to take? There's stocks that, this thing trades, could trade, and they do. Look at this thing traded from, 15 to 40. But if you went back and talked or looked it up, or talked to the big traders and stuff like that, you can bet none of them were still long the stock at 40 from 15. A few people will lie and say they were, or maybe they had 10 shares. Sophisticated traders, highly unlikely that they capture this whole thing. Maybe with a few shares, but generally not. They're selling into the pops, as we did, because it doesn't go straight up. Got up to 27. Now look at this pullback. Now maybe it holds there and goes to 31. Well, if you're a sophisticated trader, you're long gone out of the stock. And yeah, it goes to 41. God bless anybody that was still holding it, and it did go. But generally, you just have to be reasonable, take profits, don't hit for the fence, I mean, this is a pretty good run from 25 to 28. It's a $3 move over, it's a 12.5%. Anytime you can make 12.5% on your money in a day, that's pretty good. So, Lisa, I hope that helps, gives you some ideas.